Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. And today I'm going to do the full review of the Bala Family Season 2, Episode 2. Okay, listen you guys, I had hoped that we were going to be watching the funeral or just the send of Kababu Ujafta, maybe like the second episode, like maybe the first episode and maybe part of the second episode, and then that was it. Okay, it wasn't going to be like the storyline for the season. Okay, but it looks like it might actually be the storyline for the season. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel like I'm getting the vibes, Zama, like vultures, you know? Those birds that fly around when somebody's about to lose their lives. Yeah, I was like, hey, Bob Jafta passed away, let's shoot, They probably even hadn't even planned to shoot that early because Bob Jafta passed away immediately after we finished watching season 1. So they must have like immediately decided to be like, okay, let's shoot so that we can get some content from the funeral. But for it to make to make most of the season, most of the content for season 2, I'm not liking it. Okay, I'm not liking it, you guys. So in this episode last week, it was his first, it was just the whole thing of them talking about his passing, and then it was his memorial service, and then now they are preparing for the funeral. Okay, and the tombstones are done, and we'll talk about that, how they are feeling about that, and also because there's going to be a funeral, the first scene that we saw was Umama, the Bala mom, talking to her sister, or her sister talking to her about the fact that I think the funeral is supposed to be on a Sunday, and then they are saying on Monday they are leaving as the family. So her sister was talking to her just to say, listen, so the funeral is coming. On Monday, we are going to have to leave and you'll be left alone. And she was trying to just prepare her. Actually, when we leave, that's when you are still, you are going to remember now you are alone. You are going to start feeling alone. And that is when you really are going to feel the loss, because now we are here, everybody is here to support you, but after the funeral you will be alone, everybody will go back home. And that's exactly what happens, you guys. I think the one thing that really shows you someone who has passed away, it's on a Friday for most of us who come from that culture yokubuyisa umuntu ekhaya on a Friday. When the coffin arrives on Friday, that's when you're like, yeah, this person has passed. When the coffin goes down, that's when you feel it. And then when everybody leaves, because as Black people, from the moment you find out that your loved one has passed away, you are hardly alone. Family comes, neighbors comes, that whole week everybody's in and out. You can even almost forget that somebody has passed away because you're just surrounded by people. But those 3 things are the things that will make you remember and force you to deal with the fact that the person has passed away. So the sister was just trying to prepare her and saying, listen, you just have to trust God and pray, but it's going to be tough. Okay. Then you guys, we also saw the siblings from the Umam Bala, and then Jafta's children as well, because I think the firstborn is the one that is in charge of the funeral. And I like that, you guys, there's no fights, because one thing about Black families kuyadliwa ngama-funeral shame ukuthi umuntu, where should he be buried, akagqokeni ini akaphumelephi. They're not fighting. Everything they're doing, it looks like everything is peaceful. And I like that even though the kids might not have liked, I don't think that they hated her, but I'm sure it was strange in the beginning when she married their dad. So, but they are not showing any negative feelings. Everything, they are updating her, they are getting her approval with everything that they're doing. I like that, you guys. I like seeing that. I like seeing that black people can do that with their funerals without fighting. So, you guys, apparently the tombstones, remember, Jafta had a wife who passed away, and they had already designed how their tombstone was going to look like, because he is supposed to get buried on top of his wife. Now, Jafta gets another wife who is the Bala, mom. Now, she passes away. No, man, he passes away. He's buried on top of his wife. Now, the tombstone is written by the message outside of the tombstone is written by the wife now who is living. Okay, and she wrote something like rest in peace my husband, but it was her that is talking. Okay. I don't know how to explain the thing. So now, because obviously the wife was buried by the husband, so the wife was survived by the husband. Now the tombstone of the husband, he is indicating that he is survived by the wife. So Uloiso was saying it's confusing, because it's like the husband buried the wife and the wife buried the husband. How the hell did that happen? But obviously people that know the background would understand it's okay. He must have gotten married after the first wife, and now he is being survived by the second wife. Also, you guys, I was wondering, when she passes away, the Bala mom, where is she going to be buried? Is she going to be buried with the husband, her late husband, or will she be buried now with Jafta? Will she be buried next to Jafta now as a second wife? I do wonder how that is going to work, okay? So, listen, so they were just talking about all of the things that needed to be paid for and all of that, and then Loiso made a joke about how expensive the weddings and the funerals are, and how the bills will be coming even after the funeral or after the wedding. And then he was saying, but I think it's better to be paying for the funeral than to be paying for than the bills for the wedding, because the wedding is hamba pale, like the marriage hamba pale, marriages end. So I think he was just trying to make a joke, but I think he didn't read the room, because Uzwai didn't feel the joke. He didn't feel it. He didn't feel it at all. And I feel like it's because obviously out of everybody, he's the one that's divorced, but also Upink. But because Ulois was next to Uzwai, and when he's making the joke, he is pushing him to laugh, and he wasn't impressed. Okay, I don't know, you guys. Those who watch the sibling, do you think Ulois was trying to be shady towards Uzwai? I hate that the Bala siblings just always have tension. They're never really just relaxed around each other. Like they never just have fun and laugh. And kuhlezi nje kune-tension bona. Hayi bo, guys, anikwazi ukufaka izinto under the carpet and just have fun with each other. Guys, that's what siblings do. Like, if you had to, like, every single thing that your siblings do, you are taking personal and you are being serious. Like, if you would just, I understand how they feel like that, because vele when you are siblings, there's always things, But I feel like if you take everything to heart, like somebody makes a joke, then it affects you. Now you are angry. Somebody does that, I think as siblings, fall under the carpets and just have fun with each other. And then there are things sometimes that are just too big and you have to address, but you can't address every single thing, and you can't be mad about every single thing that your siblings do. I think that's the thing that really bores me about them. Even after all of the therapy they went through last season, there's still just an underlying tension. So you don't see them a lot. You don't see them having fun with each other a lot. You don't see them like genuinely having those laughter, like laughters as a family. Kuyahleka uma family kujatshule, ubona nje hlezi nje kune-tension, omunye athi wenza ijoke, omunye usediniwe ukuthi ijoke yomunye, like they're actually exhausting me. So then, you guys, Afterwards, Aloysius decided to speak to Zwei about Pelo because Pelo apparently he is pursuing his solo career. And I guess it's not going that bad because he's getting bookings, okay? But he's missing some of the bookings, he's canceling some of them, and obviously the bad publicity that comes with that. Lois wanted them to discuss it. I think he wanted to chat to Zwei and say, listen, how do we help Pelo? And then Uzwai went into the firstborn mode of vele uzwayo ukuthi uzwaye vele hayi uzwaye njalo uzwaye went into the firstborn mode, and then he's like vele upela akaze abe ne-responsibility. Thina we had to be responsible while we were young, and yena he's never even had to. And then all Lois was looking for was, is there anything that we can do as his brothers to help him? Okay, listen, I understand the firstborn position because they get given a lot of responsibilities, and they hardly ever get a thank you from the other siblings. But then sometimes they get into this mode where they really are like the deputy parent, and it's very hard to get out of being a deputy parent. Sometimes you just want your sibling to be your sibling, and you're like, the parent is there. Can you not be deputing right now? Okay, so I feel like Uzwa is always on a deputy parent mode all the time. Sometimes when they just want to have a casual chat as brothers, he gets into I will preach vele Uzwa. I mean, I'm tired of so then, you guys, Pelo joins them later on in the conversation. He does admit that he's swimming in debt right now. He's had to cancel a gig because the band wanted to be paid before they actually did a performance, and he didn't have money to pay them. So he canceled the gig, and the band was mad. I was like, but why is the band mad when you cancel the gig? Because you don't have money to pay them. I don't know, you guys, maybe they feel they have a history of him not paying them, and then now they're feeling like he has to pay them first before they go and perform. But then if he doesn't have money, maybe it's a good idea to perform so that he can get paid and pay them. Okay, so that was the situation. I feel like Upelo has like last born tendencies, but too much of it. Like, he's not growing up. I feel like, okay, since he has talent, maybe he needs like a good team. He needs like a good manager, but he needs to be treated like a child in that relationship, where there's somebody that gets it. When he gets the gig, somebody keeps the schedule for him, somebody books the flights for him, somebody makes sure he has something to wear, somebody makes sure that he has something to eat on the day, somebody who goes to the house, wakes him up, makes sure that he's on time to catch the plane, he's on time for the performance. Then Nanje, the only thing he does is get on stage and perform. I think he's that kind of artist, like he needs a team to do that for him. It feels like he's doing the bookings and all of that for himself. I don't think it's working if he's ending up having to cancel some of the gigs that he is getting. Okay, I mean, you're canceling money, you're canceling the bag, I don't understand. When is he going to grow up, you guys? Now, while they're having that conversation, while Uzwai gets into the whole thing with you guys, I feel like we're playing with, we have something valuable here, which is our name, the Bala name, and we are playing with it because we have a good brand, brand name, the Bala brothers. I think Uzwai would love for them to get back together as Bala brothers. I think that's the point he was trying to make. You wouldn't even be struggling like this, Pelo, if you just agreed to go back to doing the Bala brothers, okay? Because that's the thing that they wanted to do last season, but they had differences because Pelo didn't want to, and then Loiso wasn't sure about it and all of that. So he's saying if we just did that, if we went back to that, then you wouldn't have to struggle here. Okay. Now, Loiso also mentions I guess Loiso is just coming with some shade this season, because he also mentions that it would be nice if they don't hear from the streets when people are having kids. Okay, apparently Zwei has another baby. Is Zwei having a baby every year? Zwei had a baby with some woman. Okay, because there's Aya the last season it's a woman that already had a baby last season. I guess after last season there's another baby that was what I had, and then the family was never told. They just heard from the streets. So he was saying that to Lois, it would be nice if we don't hear from the streets that you're having babies. Can we be told as a family that we're having some kids? Okay. Yes, you guys. Then Uzoi went and spoke to his mother, because his mother apparently, Ayanda, who is his baby mama, is coming for the funeral, and he didn't know. He is finding out about that when he is getting a message from Ayanda to say, we are boarding a plane coming to the funeral. He is shocked. What's happening? How did you even know what's going to a funeral? And then she mentioned something about the mom telling her. So he goes to his mom to say, listen, I would have loved to know what she's coming, the ex. Now, the mom is like, listen, I know I under through you. So if you haven't told me, now things have ended between you and Ayanda. I mean, I'm still, if she calls, I'm still going to pick up the call. Also, Ayanda had a relationship with Bob Chafter. Apparently they used to call each other. He would check on the kids and all of that. So obviously Ayanda is going to want to come to the funeral. Bob Chafter, I cannot stop her. But another thing is that nobody has told me about a breakup between Uzwai and Ayanda. So I'm still continuing with the relationship, because I didn't fight with her. She says the thing is, things are different now, because people, I said before, if you break up with a family, if you divorce from a family or you break up, you don't ever go there anymore. But now you guys are doing things different. So what am I supposed to do? I actually thought, well, that's not something that Zoe should have bothered his mom with. I mean, she's dealing with something important. It's like the same thing that Lois was doing last time, where they were talking about what the wife is going to wear and all of that. I feel like they're just bothering their mom with petty stuff when she's dealing with a lot, okay? So apparently the baby mama is coming, and yes, you guys. Now, there is an ex-Kapinki that is around Mike, but they are not very good at introducing us to Mike on the show, because we just hear Mama Kulumanozwai saying, listen, I saw at the memorial service, I saw Mike, and I asked Pinky about him, and Pinky said, yes, ma'am, we are back together, no Mike. But I'm thinking, guys, Pila introduce Mike. Apparently Mike is an ex-ka Pinky. Now they are back together. Pinky, the Bala sister, they are back together. So the mom is excited because apparently she did like Mike. But I feel like we need a formal intro with Mike, okay? Because we need to understand Mike. Was Mike a good man to Pinky, okay? Because Pinky last season was kind of on a search for a man, but not really. Because sometimes we're like, I'm not ready, it's not the time. And then he should be saying, it would be nice if I had somebody. So apparently there's a Mike, okay? I don't know if he'll be doing the show, okay? Then another thing that we saw was because the mom decided that she wants to write a tribute that will be recorded and read at the funeral for Bob Chafter, and she wanted Pinky to be the one to write it for her, but she was the one that was saying the tribute. She was a heartwarming tribute, guys. The things of the funeral, okay? And Pelu was there as well, you guys. So yes, now moving forward this season, you guys, I really would want them to leave the Bob Chafter funeral and all of that alone now. I don't know. I can't go through another episode dealing with that. I just want them to move on to other things. I know that there's going to be a storyline about them buying or building a house for their mom. I want to get into that. And also I need to see more of what they do with their normal daily life, okay? What they do when they are at work and all of that. We want to see Upelo missing those performances, and we want to see Mike, and yeah, you guys, but they mustn't overdo the funeral thing where it's like in episode 5 we are still dealing with Bob Jafta's funeral. We loved him very, very much. May his soul rest in peace, but they mustn't overdo it. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumagona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in the Tanda. Kakon.